it will set and denominate what the dollar, what the yen, what the yuan, what the euro, what different pesos, what the ruble is worth, and it's controlled by these private bankers. The French finance minister and the G20 are currently debating the role of China. She said France favors including the renminbi, or one of the divisions of the yuan, in the currencies that make up SDRs, even before the Chinese currency is fully convertible. In 2009, China's central bank governor said he wants a new globalist reserve currency to be controlled by International Monetary Fund. And a month ago, what did Hu Jintao say? He said the dollar will be destroyed. It will be phased out. And a lot of financial researchers and experts believe 2011 may be the year. And you think our economy's in the ditch right now. Can you imagine what's going to happen under this system? And so they've gone from a creeping baby step to a walk, now into a jog, and they're now signaling a sprint, phasing out the dollar. It could happen with a bang. It could happen with a whimper. Right now it's happening with a strategic, coordinated devaluation. On Monday, Japan acknowledged that China's economy is now the second largest due to China's furious growth. The country is expected to surpass the United States as the world's largest economy. China outpaced the United States in manufacturing this year. In 2009, the U.S. created 19.9% of world manufacturing output compared to 16.6% in China, with the U.S. staying ahead despite a steep fall in factory production due to the global recession, according to Global Insight, a U.S.-based economics consultancy. Here's the difference, and I've had top economists on to break this down, but I'll give you some layman boil down. For more than 15 years, the United States has completely cooked its manufacturing numbers and its employment numbers. China has a very realistic, really taken from the United States, gauge of manufacturing. It's got to be value added. If they dump, say, flour into a can and sell it, they don't call that really, that flour a manufactured good, even though the United States would. But it gets worse. And I get these tax so-called breaks on manufacturing. Basically, we get a manufacturing credit for sticking videotapes, DVDs, in a package and shipping it to you. And McDonald's, when they put a hamburger together, they fry the hamburger on the grill or on the hot top, and they put the cheese on it and they throw it in the microwave, whatever they do, and they throw it in the package in the bag and give it to you out the window. That is considered manufacturing in the United States. So we've been surpassed by China a long time ago. They count the service economy really as manufacturing. If shoes get shipped in from China in bulk, and then a regional subcontractor takes the shoes, makes sure the packaging isn't messed up, puts them in a new box, that's manufacturing. Of course, that's not really manufacturing, ladies and gentlemen. But Kurt Nemo's story continues with all these quotes of what they're doing. The G20 is dedicated to transforming the IMF into a globalist version of the Federal Reserve. The authoritarian slave labor nation of China plays an instrumental role in this proposed transformation. During the recent G20 meetings, China worked closely with the United Nations to replace the dollar as the world reserve currency. China's central bank insists that the dollar's global role allowed the U.S. to borrow cheaply abroad, fueling the credit boom that led to the financial crisis. Yeah, well, what's China complaining about? They get to take all those dollars they've got that they got in exchange for cheap slave goods and come back and buy farmland, coal-bearing land, oil-bearing land, natural gas-bearing land, factories, media companies, positions in stock markets, owning the stock markets themselves. It's just incredible. And you see all the global stock market mergers now happening, driven by British interest, U.S. interest, Chinese, Japanese, European Union interest, Israeli interest. The Arab interests are some of the biggest if you actually look at the consolidation of those stock markets in the last 6-7 years. I've been taken out of context when I've obviously Hollywood is predominantly Jewish dominated. No one denies that. I was pointing out of a Fox News and AP article like 3 years ago that the biggest stock markets in the world were the stock markets themselves were majority owned by Jordanian and but not even so much Jordanian. They were part of it in one article. Saudi Arabian, Yemen, those oil-rich countries. And I was pointing out the globalists aren't going to let the Arabs keep that. They're going to fund revolutions. They're going to overthrow them. And just like they're doing with Hosni Mubarak, seizing his $7 billion, he's poor compared to King Fahd and the rest of them. And that the globalists are going to steal that money. That's the point I was pointing out. Fox was admitting in an article that not only were they buying up the stock markets, but that Fox, the biggest single owners in Fox, if you put them together, are Saudi Arabians. Rupert Murdoch has a deal where he can own a minority of Fox, but in those deals, he and his family still control Fox. But, of course, the COINTELPRO spun that I was saying that it was just ridiculous. I mean, if that's what I meant, and it's not what I meant, it was taken out of context. I was pointing out, but side issue, it just made me think about that because we covered with Max Kaiser Thursday, the consolidation of stock markets all over the world. And that's why the globalists, this is economic warfare. That's why they want to overthrow Saudi Arabia. That's why they want to overthrow Egypt. That's why they want to overthrow even their client states, because they have real wealth and real power. And the New World Order would rather bring down the House of Saudi Arabia, the House of Saud, the country's named after that royal family, and steal their trillions of dollars. We're not talking about $7 billion that Hosni Mubarak, that they're now basically chasing his bank accounts in England and in Switzerland, and he's now racing in a coma. But his handlers, his family, that's in the news today, are trying to get that money out of Europe. What message does this send? What message does this telegraph? What message does this put across to all of these dictators and these corrupt royal houses, these dynasties, that they have made these deals? In the case of the Saudis, it's a 100-year-old plus deal now. To set up their country, to create its borders, to militarily back it, and then to invest their money from the oil in the big banks. And now there's a move to double-cross them and basically steal that money. The globalists cannot allow there to be any real wealth out there that they don't control. And so it's almost like if you're playing Risk, the world domination board game, we're getting down to the end game. We're getting down, you've been playing Risk for 15 hours in college, and there's only 2 of you left now, basically on the board, and all the stops are being pulled out. There may have been alliances 5-6 hours ago in the game, but now we're entering the last hour of this current phase. And the globalists aren't just fighting with each other and consolidating wealth. They're also building the paramilitary domestic control grid forces, because their main enemy aren't just each other and regional geopolitical blocs. Their enemy is the individual sovereign person who is middle class and not dependent on them. The world is being transferred and turned into a prison planet. And so you're going to see the Arabs stabbed in the back by the globalists. You're going to see these nations overthrown one by one. We're going to get into that when Tarpley joins us. I want to shift gears, though, and get into Ron Paul saying he can beat the warmonger Obama and a lot more.
Is it really possible to get out of debt without payment plans or attorneys? 18 years ago, we developed a program that has made thousands debt-free in just 90 days. It's called Zero Debt in 90 Days, and it works for all credit card debt, medical bills, even collection lawsuits.
When I first joined, I was being sued. So I used the program methods, and after filing one piece of paper, the collection lawsuit was dismissed.
With Zero Debt in 90 days, your success is guaranteed in writing. There is no other program of its kind. Don't be alone when creditors gang up on you. Let our team of experts provide the resources to fight back and stop creditors in only 90 days, guaranteed. Prevent wage garnishments, bank levies, and stop collection calls with our proven program. Call Zero Debt in 90 days now, 800-477-9256, and ask for free information from an expert who also completed our program. 800-477-9256 or ZeroDebtGuaranteed.com. 800-477-9256 or ZeroDebtGuaranteed.com.
Hundreds of nations have fallen to tyranny in the last century alone. This is our last chance to not relive history.
As they're finishing off this agenda, they'll be pulling the rug from underneath Americans at home.
I have tremendous influence on our president and Congress, and they really are calling the shots.
I think it's incumbent upon all of us as American citizens to pay attention.
Fall of the Republic identifies the enemies of our nation, the criminal offshore cartel, hell-bent on destroying sovereignty, and on its ashes constructing world government.
Tim Geithner, Bernanke, they're arsonists. They're asking for more matches. And the Congress is saying, who do we make the check out to?
Today, seems like nobody does care. And right now in Washington, D.C., we have seen a fall of the Republic.
Get your copy of Fall of the Republic on DVD at Infowars.com or watch it online right now in super high quality at prisonplanet.tv.
Again, the Congressional Budget Office sounds the alarm. This time warns of Greek-style U.S. debt crises. You heard me right. The GAO is drawing a parallel between the U.S. economy, its debt, and the current Greek economic meltdown. With the debt-to-GDP chart climbing into unfamiliar territory, the growing budget deficit will rise to unsupportable levels. Hi, this is Ted Anderson. The Federal Debt and Risk of Financial Crises document the CBO has published is a must-read for every American, covering the risk of continued deficit spending coupled with an aging population and the rising interest rates spell economic disaster. It's imperative that you get a copy of this document and study it for yourself. Call me today at 800-686-2237 and I'll send you a free copy. Again, call 800-686-2237 and ask for your copy of the CBO document. Once again, you need to read this government report. Call 800-686-2237.
Becoming a modern smoker is now easier and more cost-effective, thanks to LeSig. Traditional smokers the world over love LeSig. E-cigarettes with a look, feel, and taste of real cigarettes, but without the nasty smoke, ashes, or stains. LeSig is powered by revolutionary microelectronic technology. A small rechargeable battery and unique replaceable cartridge provide all the satisfaction and benefits of smoking without the smoke and all the hazards. See the large variety of LeSig e-cigarette supplies and accessories at LeSig.com. That's LECIG.com. LeSig is competitively priced, comes with the best customer service, a 30-day warranty, and satisfaction guaranteed. What a great gift idea. For a 10% discount, mention GCN when you call 870-518-4307. That's 870-518-4307. Ask for fast, free, same-day shipping. Order online at LeSig.com and use promo code GCN at checkout. That's LECIG.com. LeSig, for today's modern smoker.
Okay, continuing here with the news, my friends. Look at this report, and it dovetails with another report I have out of the Business Insider. Wisconsin National Guard preps for worker unrest after governor unveils emergency budgets. And it goes on, under Walker's plan, public employees would lose all of their collective bargaining rights, except a limited negotiation on wages. State workers will also have to contribute more to their pension and health care benefit plans, so that can be stolen. Unions erupted in outrage as they learned about Walker's proposal. The governor told Milwaukee Public Radio that he had briefed the Wisconsin